Hey guys, and welcome back to the totally normal Gran Turismo 5 playthrough. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, I recommend doing so, cause they're gonna provide a lot of context on where we are now. Anyways, I welcome you back to the world of Gran Turismo 5. Now, it's been a while since I checked the used car dealership, so let's see what they have to offer. Heh, nice. We can use this car for pickup truck challenge. But we'll get onto that in the next episode. And if you're wondering, I'm putting all my cars into favorites so that I have an easier way of finding a specific car. Anyways, let's go beat World Classic Car Series using the Julia Sprint GTA, which I won in episode 7. And by completing this event, I will also get a prize car for completing the entire beginner series. Anyways, the first race is at the Le Mans circuit. Wait a minute. Fuck! Anyways, let's see how I do. So the race started, and yeah, I think we all know how this went. If I have to be honest, this was like my 10th attempt at this race, and I was getting really impatient. So I just overtook everyone by off-roading, just like last time. Except this time the AI caught up to me due to my top speed. You know what that means? Time to turn into a roadblock. Which is what I would have said if they didn't know how to overtake. But apparently, they do. I also forgot to mention this earlier, but I bought myself racing tires to make the races easier. Anyways, the braking zone came around and I overtook the 2000 GT. And then I got out-accelerated by the AI again. I braked way later than the AI on the braking zone, which allowed me to catch up to the 2000 GT and overtake it, along with the Fairlardy 2000. Then I overtook the Ginetta G4 on the next corner, but keeping my first place was no easy task, as I had to block the Ginetta and the Fairlardy, and then later blocking the 2000 GT and the 2 Cosmo Sports. But I managed to redeem myself using the cornering strategy, which allowed me to catch up to the Ginetta and overtake it for the 3rd time in this race. And then I managed to catch up to the Fairlardy and overtake it. And then I just cruised to the finish line and took home the victory, and earned 6,000 credits as a reward. History is repeating itself and I don't like it. The second race is at Eiger Nord 1 Short Track. The braking zone came around and I managed to catch up to the Bluebird and overtake it, along with the classic Skyline and the Honda S800. And then after that, I easily overtook the second classic Skyline. The next section of the track came around and I managed to overtake the Cosmo Sport with no problem. And the Isuzu Bellet wasn't too difficult to overtake either. I knew the high RPM turbo kit and racing tires were a good purchase. The third and the final race is at Autumn Ring. On the first braking zone, I managed to overtake my twin and the Ginetta G4. This section of the track came around and I managed to easily overtake the Skyline and the Fairlardy. And then I managed to catch up to the Honda S800 and overtake it, along with the C1 Corvette right in front of it. Honestly, the only real challenge came from the first race at Le Mans. But anyways, I just cruised to the finish line and won the race, and earned 6,000 credits on top of that. And yeah, that's World Classic Car Series. And now let's see what we get as a prize car for winning this event and for completing the entire beginner series. A 360... Wait, what? What in the actual fuck? Okay, that was pretty bad. But maybe the level 5 class ticket is gonna be better. An Acura NSX, which we can use for Japanese championship for some reason, even though the car is f***ing American. Speaking of American, let's go beat Muscle Car Championship using the Chrysler Prowler, which I bought in episode 7. And before I forget, anyways, let's go race American muscle cars. The first race is at Daytona Road Course. So let's see how I do. The first corner came around and I managed to catch up to the Camaro, but not quite enough to overtake it. And then I managed to overtake it on this section, along with the C2 Corvette right in front of it. After that, it took me a while to catch up to the Dodge Viper. Let's just say that every car I use from now on will have racing tires equipped. Anyways, the braking zone came around and I managed to catch up to the Challenger and overtake it, along with the Dodge Viper right in front of it. After that, I tried to catch up to the Corvette Gran Sport but got out-accelerated instead. That is, until I managed to overtake it on the end of the test course corner. Then I tried to overtake the Pontiac GTO, but I just wasn't fast enough. On the next braking zone, however, I braked way later than the Pontiac, allowing me to overtake it. And even though I had a top speed and the fact that the muscle cars were really competitive, that still wasn't enough to stop me from winning the race and earning 17,000 credits as a reward. The second race is at Laguna Seca, a track known for its infamous corkscrew. Anyways, the first corner came around and I managed to overtake the Pontiac GTO using the cornering strategy. And then it took me a while to catch up to the Camaro, but once I did catch up, it was easy to overtake it. Luckily, I didn't fuck up the corkscrew like I did many times in GT3, and that fact alone allowed me to overtake the Corvette Gran Sport and then overtaking the SVT Cobra R on the next corner. After that, it took me all the way till the end of the second lap to catch up to the C3 Corvette. The final corner of the second lap came around and I managed to overtake the C3 Corvette with not too much difficulty. And then it took me a long while to catch up to the C5 Corvette. After a long fought battle which I won't bore you with, I finally managed to catch up to the C5 Corvette and overtake it. And then I just cruised to the finish line and won the race, with the C5 Corvette right behind me, and earning 17,000 credits on top of that. And yeah, that's Muscle Car Championship. And now let's see what we get as a prize car for winning this event. Hopefully it's not something like a Ford KA or whatever. A Challenger SRT8. I'm not sure if I'll be able to use it anywhere, but we'll see. Anyways, next on my priority list is Supercar Festival. Now I could just use the Esprit from the last episode like a normal person, or I could waste 300,000 credits on an RS6 Avant and all the upgrades for it. Well, this is the totally normal Gran Turismo 5 playthrough, so I think you already know which choice I picked. Anyways, let's go race high-end supercars. The first race is at High Speed Ring Reverse, so let's see how I do. The first corner, or should I say the long corner, came around and I managed to overtake the C6 Corvette with ease, along with the DB7 Vantage right in front of it. And if you haven't noticed, I finally learned how to get rid of all the shit on the screen, so now the replay is a lot more visible. Anyways, the braking zone came around and I managed to catch up to the GTR, but not quite enough to overtake it. I used the cornering strategy on this corner, which allowed me to overtake the GTR on the bridge. After that, I managed to catch up to the Countach 25th anniversary and overtake it using Slipstream. And the same would be true for the Yellowbird and the McLaren F1. Overall, this race was really easy. And even though the Roof and the McLaren were competitive, they still didn't stop me from winning the race and earning 17,000 credits. The second race is at Daytona Superspeedway, a track that's all about top speed, which hopefully my car has. Anyways, the first test course corner came around and I managed to overtake the Nissan R390 GT1, and also getting overtaken by the Saleen S7. Let's just say that this race had too much stuff happening for a commentator to comprehend. At first, I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to overtake those guys, but thank God this car has 6 gears, which was enough to overtake the Saleen, but not enough to overtake the Corvette and those other guys. Then I tried to overtake the Spiker, but ended up bonking into it instead. I guess now I know what it's like to be cock-blocked. Either way, I still managed to catch up to the Spiker and overtake it on the start-finish straight. And then I overtook the C5 Corvette, but it overtook me back on the test course corner. Either way, I still managed to catch up due to the AI's unnecessary wall grinding. And that alone also allowed me to catch up to the Le Mans Quattro and the C5 Corvette. And then I overtook both of them on the test course corner. Overall, this race was challenging, but not as challenging as something we're gonna get to later on in the playthrough. There's not much else to say other than this was probably the shortest race in the entire playthrough. Either way, I won the race, with the Volkswagen Nardo right behind me. And I earned another 17,000 credits as a reward. The third and the final race is at Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit. Anyways, I managed to overtake a Callaway, Viper, another Viper, 512BB, and crashed into a C5 Corvette, all on the exact same corner. And also, the 512BB tried to end my race but failed. Anyways, the rest of the race was pretty much me trying to catch up to the Lexus LFA. Thank God these weren't real barriers. It wasn't until the braking zone on the second lap that I managed to overtake the Lexus LFA. Insert explosion here. Hey look, it's the next lap and I managed to build a 5-second lead over the Lexus. And because of that, I managed to win the race very easily and earned my well-deserved 17,000 credits. And yeah, that's Supercar Festival. After all of that, let's see if wasting 300,000 credits was worth it. A Gran Turismo S. Now, I'm not sure if this was worth it, but who knows? Maybe I'll use it in one of the remaining events. And that's about it for today's episode. If you enjoyed, which I know you did, like the video, and maybe even consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in episode 10.